and two turrets just traded in that last little bit of play, whilst we've got a bit of a die down here right now.
I'm fairly impressed that the golds managed to stay equal for both teams, despite the fact that Cockfoxes have picked up 2 more turrets over the top of Wood 7. But
the important part, I think, that the only reason that the gold is quite level at the moment is because of the amount of assists floating around on the blue team. And obviously they've got 2 more kills, and I think just a few more assists is the reason why they're ahead. And when you look at it over on the side of J4 right now, he's got 2 kills for himself, which is nice and fantastic for him. But importantly, 7 assists. Jax also has 3 assists.
And they're going to try and go in on that Sona. They do catch her with Nami's ult, but she's just going to turn around, pop that crescendo, and walk away, as they're forced to back off due to Aatrox and Xin Zhao coming down to back them up, as well as Fizz now coming through the jungle. So Jax is up top, pushing down that turret, as we do see the purple team now rotating onto that dragon. They know Jax is top, they know he's not going to be able to get in there and try and give him a hand. So they're looking at a nice free dragon, which will help put them further ahead. Unless we do see Clyde going in. Is this a big mistake? He does get the smite off, and pops his flash and backs out. Has Xin Zhao over the wall, and Aatrox. 2 people over the wall versus the 3. Massimo's just sitting there doing damage from the back line. He's going to pick up 1 kill on Xin Zhao. 2 kills on Fizz. Is there going to be a 3rd? We do see Aatrox's passive get popped, but Corky's going to turn around, clean up Massimo on that Varus, and Clyde's going to be forced to have to back away as Jax gets a 2nd turret at top lane, making it a 2 kills and a dragon in exchange for 3 kills, not including the 2 top towers just taken at top lane by Jax.
And Jax hasn't stopped. He is still pushing. He's looking at that inhibitor turret, whilst in the mid lane, 3 people look at their inhibitor turret, but he's just about to be banging on it. No, he's backing off.
Yeah, he's going to have to get down here and try and...
Oh, he's back in there. He's on it again.
Well, I was going to say he should probably be trying to save his inhibitor, but I think he realised he's not going to be able to do much against 3 people, especially considering the pushing power of Aatrox and Corky now. So they're going to lose an inhibitor turret, and the top lane inhibitor turret for Cockfoxes is now down to half health as well.
So an interesting trade there. J4 picked up the dragon, so very worth for the blue team straight away. They only traded 1 kill behind, so the gold lead for them was fantastic. They picked up a lot more out of that there than the red team did. Obviously, 2 kills, it's worth a negative 2 kill exchange, the dragon, overall. So, you know, with them picking up obviously 2 kills and the other team picking up 3 kills, it was slightly worth in their favour. So, you know, Smite, well done by J4. Obviously, he's been practicing some of those mechanics. Well done over on the side of Torre. And, you know, we're going to see an interesting phase in the next few minutes because that top lane has been pushed so hard in by Jax. Mid inhibitor is now open and targetable for the red team. But if blue team stay in the mid lane and keep pushing it up like this, they can't even get there.
Yeah, exactly. And we did see all buffs from the blue team getting picked up by Cockfoxes as they did rotate out of that jungle and out of that push. So we're now starting to see Divyara and I believe it is Creations on that Sonar getting vision around that Baron. It could be the next point of contention. We have seen after Jax had his push up top, he's now come back with a bit of defensive items in the form of that Locket of the Iron Solari and almost a completed Blade of the Ruined King. So he's now going to be starting to hit that hyper carry mode where he's going to be trying to jump into a fight, get to that back line and either blow up Corky or blow up Fizz or possibly even Aatrox or Xin. As we do see the flash ultimate coming out of Massimo, but everybody's going to back off. Nami's forced to burn her ult as to try and give them a good initiation. Fizz burns Chum the Waters, just trying to make sure that they're not going to go in on his team, who he may believe is a little bit weak at the moment.
Yeah, so important right there. 2 ultimates burn in the stake for 1, and that's 2 heavy engage ultimates for the blue team. So they don't have those big engage ultimates right now. Whereas red team still has Sona Crescendo, Corky's still going to be sitting safe in the background, and they can't AoE CC them.
A big mistake there coming out of Wood 7, but it looks like Cly is going to try and go in on them. He's going to land a knock up on one of them. Fizz and Crescendo going in deep. Unfortunately, it's going to be too much. We're going to see Jax and Ryze getting dropped very quickly. Varus trying to clean up, but Aatrox too much lifesteal and Corky too much damage is going to see Varus getting blown up very, very quickly. Divyara landing a clutch bubble is going to almost walk away safely. Corki missing his ult, trying to pop his ultimate. He's going to get dropped to a tower. Big mistakes there coming out for him, but they're going to pick up an inhibitor. And it looks like they're going to try and rotate now around and push top in as well.
Yeah, okay, so like we were just saying about the AoE ultimates and AoE CC ultimates, importantly, is the fact that they didn't have them that fight. They have them that fight, entirely different from the fight from what just happened. I mean, it's not just even the knock-up coming from out of the Nami ultimate, but it helps your Jax get in there, it helps your J4 get in there, and it helps Ryze get in there with the movement speed buff coming from the Nami passive, which, by the way, is called Surging Tide. So any champion's abilities that hit... any abilities cast from Nami that hits her teammates, she gets, they all get movement speed. So that's the important part of the tidal wave. Actually, the knock-up, it's also the movement speed. The combo of the two together is what makes that ability so powerful. And of course, not having it that fight, they can't get in, they can't get out, and they're just locked and sat down in the chain CC of the red team.
That's exactly right, and it did force them to lose an inhibitor, as we do see Tor or Cly cleaning up the wards around the Baron pit, which could, I keep saying, I reckon it'll be the next point of contention, but unfortunately for Wood 7, they're not having as much pushing power at the moment as Cockfoxes, so they are starting to lose these, oh god, I've completely forgotten what you would refer to them as, these points of interest that provide a massive amount of gold for them.
Major objectives.
Objectives, thank you very much. So they're starting to lose out on these objectives, as we do see Cockfoxes rotating around, trying to catch up that Ryze, and it looks like they may start Baron.
So Sona's not with the team right now. Obviously, Crescendo is back off cooldown. So if they get engaged upon here, Crescendo isn't there. They're just going to buff the Baron. Yeah, they're just going to look at Ryze. Blue team seen that they're coming in and initiating on that Baron. Bushes are cleared up by Corki. Not the smartest move by Corki there. I mean, when you think about it, if Ryze was still sitting up on those bushes, that's a dead Corki.
I don't think Ryze has quite hit that point of power yet, but he's not far off. Corki may have been able to get a Valkyrie strike out and just save himself quickly, but it looks like we're going to see Divyara getting initiated on. Chum the Waters is going to miss again for Fizz. That's a big mistake for him, as Torre or Clay is going to get caught out. Jax lands a good counter-strike on two members of the team, but Aatrox is going to go deep in on Varus. We're going to see Aatrox passive popped. Starscream's going to get dropped very quickly, and a very, very good crescendo there coming out from Sona. It's going to lock down 4 members of the team, and it's going to be enough to turn the fight around for them. A good initiation coming out of Wood 7, but it's not going to be enough.
Okay, so what happened there in that fight? I'm going to roll this one back 15 seconds, so just bear with me when I roll it back, and I'll give you a time to roll back 2. Alright, so we're going to roll back 2 sets, and then I'll pause. We'll go 3 sets. Okay, so roll back to... We're going to roll back to 30:05. Let's look at the positioning, because I think this game is probably over here. If you look at the positioning of blue team, you have Ryze in the top lane at 30:08, Massimo on Varus, and... Sorry, is that Jax hiding in the background there?
Yep, that's Jax hiding up there.
No, sorry, that's Ryze hiding there. Jax in the top lane, Ryze hiding right next door to the J4, and Divyara on the Nami way out in front. Obviously, neither of the two teams can see each other right now, but blue team has a lot of ward coverage, so they know what's safe and what's not. We're going to roll this clip on at normal speed just for now. Nami's going to roll around, drop some wards, try and get a team a little bit of vision. So is are you still watching it at normal time, or...
I was coming back with you, but I'll switch to live, it's okay.
Is the game still up, is it? I
believe so, yeah. It hasn't finished yet.
Alright, we'll jump back to live. We can come back to that one when the game ends. No, the game is still live, yeah. Sorry, I was going to roll through something there.
It's all good.
What happened there and what won that team fight was, yes, Jax jumped in onto Corki. Yes, J4 jumped in onto Corki, but Sona sat on the crescendo. She didn't just automatically fire it off at that point. But, you look at it, Ryze wasn't there. Ryze wasn't there to follow up with a lot of damage. So blue team started backing away, and they just couldn't. Because I believe the Cataclysm was used from J4 at that point as well. So he'd effectively locked himself in with the red team, and Jax in with the red team after the leap strike and the Banner of Command and Dragon Strike comes out, so they're stuck there. And all of red team are just like, Aatrox goes for the backline and just starts zoning off Ryze and Varus. The rest of his team start working on J4 and Jax.
Sorry, Ryze does get caught out. A good crescendo coming down on both Jax and Ryze there. Clyde's going to come in and initiate. He's going to clean up Aatrox, who had his passive burnt the last fight. Clyde's stuck in there, being focused down by Corki and Xin Zhao. Corki now going in on top of Massimo and Diviara. This could be the cleanup for the final fight. Massimo is going to pick off Varus, and Diviara is going to be cleaned up by that Xin Zhao. So we've now got Xin Zhao and Sona up, ready to keep pushing. We've got one inhibitor down on the Wood 7 team, closely followed by another bite from the minions, and this could be the end of it.
Yeah, this is going to be the end of it, just because of the quick tower clearing power of Xin Zhao. 3 Talon Strike pops into, I keep forgetting it, Battle Cry. It was changed recently, I believe, in that one, when they reworked it. But yeah, so they're going to focus down onto the Nexus right now, and we can stop and rewind it to that 30.08 point, and I can go through a few things and why the game was won. Alright, we're a little bit behind. But yeah, you see Jax coming out of the base, Ryze was in the top lane, and he was pushing that top lane up, trying to keep that one pushed onto the top turret. So that was well done by him. He saw the entire red team coming around for him, and then he just backed up. Got collected with his team. Nami goes out towards the Baron pit, but then the entire red team comes in and zones her off the Baron after she clears the wall. So good job to her for clearing the site, but bad job by her team for not backing her up. Chum the Waters is burnt. Nami flashes. Sorry, we jumped back another 15 seconds because I pressed the wrong button. Or was this P? Okay, so she clears this ward out in the Baron. She flashes down. The rest of her team isn't following up. And instead, J4 and Jax initially start basing. So we pause it here now at 30:27. And there is 5 members of red team in and around the dragon area. On Nami down, out and around the banana bush. Into the, heading back towards the mid lane. Varus, J4 was in on top of the entire red team. Jax is right next to him. And Varus is nowhere near auto attack range. Ryze, he's even further back, and he has to be in closer range than Varus so that he can cast his spells and spit out his damage. We're going to roll this next part of it half speed. Wrong way. And you just see J4 initiates, tidal wave comes from Nami, hits no one, not even a member from her team. So now we're going to pause it right here. Jax and J4 are in this team fight right here. And there's just no follow-up. Varus is still trying to walk up, and they're already taking damage. Corki, Valkyrie's... No, he hasn't even used Valkyrie right now. But the rest of his abilities are on cooldown currently. So we're going to play again at half speed. J4 Jax do their job right. And importantly, Dark Flight from Aatrox knocks up Ryze, stops his initiate onto the team, and he doesn't get to put out any of that AoE damage that makes Ryze so destructible. Continue playing the fight. Fizz jumps in, they blow up Ryze, so he's a non-factor. Right now, no, he gets a few spells off, but they're only onto single targets, there's no double targets. Crescendo burn to make sure that Jax and J4 don't keep running away. And Corki's just there spitting out damage onto whoever he wants. At this point, he Valkyries in onto Ryze and just blows him up, and they just turn around and end up cleaning up the fight. That's the fight that I think right there won the game for them, because that took so much of an advantage out of that. 5 for 3. Oh, sorry, 5 for 2 even, I think that fight might have been. And we don't even need to watch them.
Yeah, well, the fight did turn it around for them. They grabbed a turret and an inhibitor, so the lanes were all going to start naturally pushing, and it did give them a bit of an advantage. And this final fight they have at the Baron was over pretty quickly. Unfortunately, they just weren't strong enough to contest with the damage coming out from all the players on Cockfoxes. So, well done to Cockfoxes for taking out round 1, and I think we're going to be in another game soon, maybe?
Yeah, so is there anyone from that game that you would like to grab for a quick interview? I think the Corgi was played well by Floor Ninjas, even though he had a very tough lane, and Fizz also had a very tough lane but played it well. But I think it was definitely the Aatrox from Brick Ruckus and went in and followed up by Twisted Focus on that Xin Zhao very well.
take your pick, man. The interviews are your little baby. I'll let you pick who you want for it.